Shavua Tov, Baruch Tavoch. We're going to tell the story number 32 in the Shivchei haBaal Shem Tov, and 32 is the Hebrew number Lamed Bet heart. The gematria, the numerical value of the letters that make the number 32 also make the word lev, which means heart. And tonight's story is called Shvirat Halev Latfila, the breaking of the heart for the prayer. The author of the book, Rav Yisrael Yafe, writes, Gam me'achasid Rav David Furkes, also from the Chosik, the pious man, Rav David Furkes, the Magid Misharim, the one who taught Misharim is righteousness, the Musar giver, so to speak, of the community of Mezibush. I heard, may his it says, may his neshama, his soul, be in the highest of the celestial spheres. So I heard from him that once the Baal Shem Tov was coming back home from one of his trips, and he was stopping in a certain house, and he was praying against the east wall as it was his custom, and on the western side of the room against the wall there were sacks with grain, and as he was praying they began to shake, similar to the story from a couple of weeks ago that the water was shaking. I also heard from him, but not from his mouth, meaning from somebody saying it in his name, that when he was a sheikhet in the Keilah of Tulshin, he was stuck there, this Rav David, and he had to go to the town of Chaladavka to make Tanaim, to make this Tanaim is the ceremony of the conditions prior to marriage, the commitment, the betrothal prior to marriage. And he sent carriages to bring all the, uses the word mekablim, which is not clear. It could either mean the people that will get the donations in the event, people who come and ask for a donation when there is a community event, or mekablim could be all the relevant people for the ceremony of the Tanaim, the witnesses from both sides, the bride and the groom, the chassan and the kala, and the guarantors, and all these people, whatever. So these people are coming in these carriages to this town. Begam David Magid Misharim Nizkalai Nasal Tanaim. So this Rav David was traveling in one of these carriages, and he was telling the story on his way. And he gathered these people from the community in his house, and he told them the story. Once it was the davening of Yom Kippur, and it was a custom of the Baal Shem Tov to come early in the morning. He would come very early in the morning to shul, to the synagogue, to begin the prayers. That time, the Baal Shem Tov did not come early. As a matter of fact, was quite late, and people were getting concerned. We need to start with the prayer. Yom Kippur is the longest prayer of the year, and it was time to begin, but the Baal Shem Tov was not there. So once the Baal Shem Tov came late, he would put his hand on the amut and the the stender, there's the pulpit, right? Put his head down and back up and down and back up quite a few times. And then Rav David, mentioned above, Rav David Furkes, came to direct the prayers, because he was the one designed to do so in the high holidays, in Yamin Noraim. And when he was about to get to the teva, to the table where they have the Torah reading, to direct the prayers from there, the Baal Shem Tov began to say things that would put him in embarrassment, humiliate him in front of the whole community. And he said to him, Zaken Hashamai, basically, dirty old man. He called him in front of everyone. Where are you going? And he kept telling him things for about a half an hour. He felt like he wanted to leave. David felt embarrassed about what the Baal Shem Tov was telling him. He thought maybe the Baal Shem Tov saw something in me, and he wanted to go. The Baal Shem Tov told him to stop and yell at him, stop. And then he told him, speak. So he began to pray. But he raised his voice in the prayer and he was crying. And he could not recognize his own words. People didn't know what he was praying. He was crying. He was just raising his voice and crying, and he felt his heart was broken by what the Baal Shem Tov had done before. By the end of Yom Kippur, after Yom Kippur finished, he came to the Baal Shem Tov, Rav David, and told him, Rabbeinu, what did you see in me? What was seen that was so inappropriate, Chas v'Shalom, in me? Baal Shem Tov told him, Chas v'Shalom, no, I didn't see anything wrong with you. I realized, says the Baal Shem Tov, that the Samech Mem, according to this, refers to the Satan, although it means the angel Samael, was standing in a specific place on the path to heaven. He was going to hack the prayers. He was going to steal the prayers from that point. So I said in my heart, I said to myself, why should I allow for prayers to go up and be stolen by the Samech Mem? God forbid. So I came late to the tefillah and I had this whole argument until I found the path in which the tefillahs will go without being ambushed by the Samech Mem. And once I assured that was the place, the path that the prayers were going to go, I was concerned that the Samech Mem may go into your heart, the Baal Shem Tov telling Rav David, into your heart, and mess up your heart so you're not able to pray properly. So I decided to break your heart. And in a broken heart, there is no place for the Samech Mem. He couldn't find a place there. He doesn't know how to deal with a broken heart. So your prayers went straight to heaven, and the whole community's prayers were accepted this Yom Kippur. Tonight is not Yom Kippur. Tonight is Gimel Tammuz, the third day of the Hebrew month of Tammuz, which is a special day in a few different levels. And Hashem puts us in situations where we are tested, and we are tested, we don't know what's going on. We think we can come up with an explanation, we think we can read within the lines, and we don't. And sometimes what Hashem wants us to know, Hashem wants us just to know that our understanding is limited in things. The Baal Shem Tov, in that occasion, had to break David's heart. The Rebbe teaches that rather than now approaching Hashem with a broken heart. We should not give place to brokenness, but to wholeness, and to approach Hashem with joy, with simcha, with happiness, and that is the way that we should be praying. In Gimel Tammuz, the third day of Tammuz, in the time of Yehoshua ben Nun, the sun stood still for 24 hours. And how can that be done? We could go on talking about all kinds of theories about astronomy, and even the theories of Einstein of how could time stand still or go in a different speed for some observers and not for others. But the point is, we don't really have a rational, understandable explanation. Hashem can do it. Now your time goes such that the sun won't set for as long as Hashem says. We don't understand the how. The previous Lubavitcher Rebbe was told that he was going to be released from prison on Gimel Tammuz, the third day of Tammuz. Actually, in the 12th of Tammuz he was released, when he was imprisoned by the Bolsheviks in the 1920s in Russia. In Gimel Tammuz, there is something for which I don't have quite an explanation to say what is the measurement in heaven, how this could happen. That we saw the Rebbe up to a certain point, he was in the hospital, and one day we're told that the Rebbe is not there. I won't come with an explanation to what really happened and into the discussion of what happened, but rather to say we don't understand. But I do know that the Baal Shem Tov found a way that our prayers go straight to heaven, that what we need, we can say it, we can connect to Hashem, the Rebbe said, with joy, with simcha, and even though we don't understand, we can accomplish it. Shavua Tov, a gute Woche.